Mariska Hargitay has her own ideas about when Law and Order, Special Victims Unit should cement Benson and Stabler's romance, but Dick Wolf's other shows prove that it could happen much sooner. Out of everyone in the Law and Order, SVU cast, Benson and Stabler have long been the two that sparked the most interest in a possible future together. Their potential took a blow when Elliot left SVU, later joining the cast of Law and Order, Organized Crime rather than returning to work with Olivia. But Benson and Stabler don't need to work together to find romance, and keeping them separated might actually raise their chances of sparking a relationship as soon as Law and Order, SVU Season 27. Mariska Hargitay thinks Benson and Stabler should be together at the end of Law and Order, SVU. She anticipates their union happening in the SVU series finale. It's only natural that Mariska Hargitay would have opinions about whether her character and Christopher Maloney should enter into a romance, and Hargitay agrees Benson and Stabler are soulmates bound to wind up together in the end. Quite literally, the end, as Mariska Hargitay's comments on Benson and Stabler suggest saving their romance for Law and Order, SVU's series finale. Although soulmates may sound like a strong word choice, it makes sense that Hargitay would feel this way. Hargitay and Maloney portrayed Benson and Stabler together for a full 12 years, and they've interacted multiple times since Stabler left following the events of the Law and Order, Special Victims Unit Season 12 finale. He's a fundamental part of her life. What might come across as odd is simply her choice of timeline. It might seem curious to put off their relationship for so long, but the series finale is one of the best times for Benson and Stabler to get together because their relationship won't interfere with their work, assuming the series ends with at least one of them retiring. Law and Order, SVU fans have been waiting for Benson and Stabler's romance for years. There have been several hints at their future together. Law and Order, SVU Benson and Stabler smiling each other while neither has a shirt on. The timeline of Benson and Stabler's Law and Order, SVU relationship goes all the way back to Season 1. Fans first felt a connection between them when Elliot insisted on protecting Olivia from a stalker, parking outside of her house to keep watch. Although their relationship was still professional, it was clear that Elliot Stabler cared deeply for his partner. In Season 6, Benson and Stabler's possible SVU romance began to gain more traction when Elliot's wife Kathy started taking issue with the amount of time he and Olivia Benson spent together. Things became so heated that Stabler began to worry his marriage could be coming to an end. Although he still remained steadfastly loyal to Kathy until her death, their relationship took an obvious blow when Stabler left the series without telling Benson goodbye. However, both Elliot and Olivia have independently admitted that they love each other since his return. They even nearly kissed in Law and Order, Special Victims Unit Season 24. Benson decided she wasn't ready, but there's a problem with Benson and Stabler waiting too long. Putting off their relationship until the Law and Order, SVU finale could prove risky. Neither Hargitay nor Maloney is getting any younger, yet there's no telling how long Special Victims Unit could stay on the air before it finally ends. They could wind up together earlier if Organized Crime ends first, but Dick Wolf's proven it could happen even sooner. Other Dick Wolf shows prove that characters from different series can be together. It's happened in both the FBI and One Chicago franchises. While Law and Order, Special Victims Unit is generally considered one of the best TV procedurals currently on air, it's far from the only successful Dick Wolf spin-off running right now. Multiple Dick Wolf franchises have involved romances between two characters from different series, proving Benson and Stabler could do the same while still split between SVU and Organized Crime. The cancellations of FBI, Most Wanted and FBI International left some characters' fates open-ended, but it didn't change the fact that Nina Chase and Stuart Scola began an off-screen relationship before her first FBI appearance. The two continued their relationship after Nina's move to Most Wanted and are raising a son together with no signs of splitting anytime soon. Dick Wolf's One Chicago universe features an equally strong, if not stronger, relationship between Chicago Fire's Mooch McHolland and Chicago PD's Trudy Platt. Their romance began in Chicago Fire Season 2 and quickly led to Plouch tying the knot in Season 4, since which they've remained happily married with few complications outside of minor work concerns like Trudy being shot. Chicago Fire's Kelly Severide had a couple of cross-series relationships. In Chicago Fire's early seasons, Severide dated both Chicago PD's Erin Lindsay and Chicago Med's April Sexton. Both relationships were unfortunately brief, but the sheer number of crossover relationships between FBI and One Chicago demonstrates how Benson and Stabler can make things work while still giving the relationship proper depth. Being on separate shows would keep the spark between Benson and Stabler even if they finally get together. Law and Order, SVU won't have to worry about shipping death. Law and Order SVU Benson staring at Stabler and moving her hands angrily. There's a concept in TV writing called shipping death, and it's one of the main reasons, will they or won't they, romances tend to spin their wheels for so long. The concept is that having two characters finally begin a romance will kill the drama that kept their early relationship interesting. However, this isn't something Benson and Stabler need to worry about. Benson headlining Law and Order, SVU, while Stabler remains on Law and Order, Organized Crime, is very much the secret weapon to avoid shipping death without waiting until the last episode for them to get together. Each appearance of Benson with Stabler will have to maximize the impact of every scene they share together, maintaining the spark in their relationship. Stabler's Law and Order, SVU exit introduced tons of drama into their relationship, but it's been long enough that the characters can move on and admit their feelings for each other. And an added benefit to doing that on different shows is that their romance won't get in the way of their professional duties since they aren't technically working together. This addresses a major concern brought up all the way back in Law and Order, Special Victims Unit Season 7, when Benson and Stabler briefly dissolved their partnership after trying to protect each other resulted in a suspect getting away. Now that it's no longer an issue, it's time to finally pull the trigger and get their true relationship underway.